Yeah, sack him. No ifs, no buts, no maybes. There is absolutely no cohesion. 3 huge alarming red flags is that Arsenal don't have to be at their best anymore to put in a performance and beat us. Udogie dealt with Saka relatively well. Van de Ven dealt with Havertz relatively well. But Arsenal stuck to the game plan, and there is a blueprint out there on how to beat Tottenham. If you've got anybody who can win a header, you are guaranteed 3 points. Because Romero, genuinely, that guy has cost us a win against Leicester. He's cost us a goal against Newcastle, and Gabriel, who's got 15 Premier League goals, and 12 of them have been headers. You haven't got to be a brain surgeon. You haven't got to be a rocket scientist. You haven't got to cure cancer to see that Arsenal are good at set pieces. And then he just stands there, doesn't he? He just stands there, Potts. Just who we are, mate. Just who we are. Who we are, mate. Useless.
Damn.
Yeah. He is absolutely clapped, mate. Let me just read you some stats. Just because everyone who goes, oh, you're negative or whatever, right? We have won against one top 10 team since December. One top 10. We're not talking big six. We're talking the top 10. We have got a 45% win rate under this manager, which is lower than Eric Ten Hag. And they want him gone, and he's picked up 2 trophies. So far this season, we've had our worst start to a Premier League season since 2015, and that was under Poch. And do you know where Poch finished that year? 3rd. Are we going to finish 3rd? You got more. Paul Merson said it yesterday. You got more chance of him winning Strictly Come Dancing than us getting in the top 4. We are an absolute embarrassment. We've got an attacking manager, and we can't score goals. We didn't score a goal against Newcastle. It was an own goal. Everyone's going, oh yeah, we beat Everton. They're going to get relegated. Everyone can beat Everton. Villa gave them a 2-goal advantage. And then John Duran just scores of Steven Gerrard. We're an absolute mess. James Maddison, the creative spark. How deep did he have to go yesterday to get the ball? He goes on our halfway line to pick up the ball because our fullbacks are higher up positions. We don't like defending. Like I said to you both on the preview, and you both agreed with this, we've got 4 good individual defenders. Yeah. You put them in this system, they are all over the place. I don't remember Saka doing anything that game because Udogie did his job. I don't remember Martinelli. Apart from that chance, yeah, where Trossard played him through, where it was a great run. Apart from that, I don't remember him doing anything. Havertz, I don't remember him having too many clear-cut chances. So individually, the defenders did their job. When it comes to defending as a unit from a set piece, honestly, I'd drop Romero for the Brentford game. It's absolutely inexcusable for Argentina, Brazil, massive rivalry in South America. It gives you a little nudge, and then you put your arms in the air, and then he goes, "Oh, Romero had to get his own flight back from Argentina. I'm so sorry you're on 150 grand a week and you had to pay for your own flight. He wasn't fit. He had a cold. Fucking turn it in. 150 grand a week in a derby. James Maddison's giving Arteta a cuddle. You're having a laugh, mate. You're having an absolute laugh. Can you imagine that back in with Tony Adams, Legby King? Were they giving each other cuddles at half time? The club is an absolute disgrace. And he comes out in his post-match conference and goes, I always win a trophy in my second season. I tell you now, there's more chance of me playing at Tottenham this season than him winning the trophy because we have got no cohesion. We don't score goals. We can't keep clean sheets. We can't defend set pieces. What have we improved from last season? The pre-season, we conceded 3 goals against the Korean 11. We didn't even have Jesse Lingard in that team. We're all over the place. Son, what did Son do yesterday? We spent £65 million on a striker and create about 2 chances for him. And unless you're Erling Haaland, let's be honest, a striker probably needs 4 or 5 chances a game to get 1 or 2 goals. Unless you're Erling Haaland or Harry Kane. And our fan base today, why did we buy Solanke? How about, why did we spend £50 million on Brennan Johnson, who is absolutely useless? Timber had the easiest job yesterday. I think Johnson got the better of him twice. One ball he put into, he might as well have gone in the Emirates. That's how far over the bar it went. And the other one went straight into Gabriel Saliba. And David Raya could have laid down on that goal line yesterday. We could have played that game 5 or 6 times. We weren't scoring. But like I said at the beginning, Arsenal don't have to play well now to beat us. They stuck to their game plan. They didn't have Rice. They didn't have Odegaard. Defensively, very, very good. I don't remember Tottenham getting clear-cut chances without their captain, without their best midfielder, without option. They're bringing on Wanyeri. Wanyeri, look, in the 8 touches he had, was better than our midfield. He's 17. Yeah, we've got Mikey Moore, who's the next Gareth Bale coming out of the academy. We've got Archie Gray that we spent £40 million. He's not played a Premier League minute.
Mate, that substitution, Maddison for Werner, was embarrassing.
Oh, mate, honestly, who in their right mind would put Timo Werner on 180 grand a week? He's on the same amount as Heung-min Son. Heung-min Son can justify that because he's got 140 Premier League goals. He's played in the Champions League final. He has been, I don't know if you can call him a legend because he hasn't really won much, but he's as close to a Tottenham legend as you're going to get alongside Harry Kane. Timo Werner, on the other hand, this is the worst group of attacking players I've seen at Tottenham in my life. We are toothless. And you know what? Mark my words, we will lose to Coventry. We will lose to Coventry and we'll get dunked out of the cup, and then he'll come out with some useless bullshit PR thing about how, it's just who we are. Sack him. It's not overreactionary. We haven't beaten a good side. We haven't beaten a big 6 club in 12 months. Let's be honest. Let's just be brutally honest. Were Arsenal good going forward yesterday?
No, Henry, I don't think Arsenal played that well in the last 2 games there. Like, when we won 2-0 there, we played very, very well. The last 2 games, and the last 2, by the way, have been with Postecoglou. I felt comfortable in both. I know when you look back at the 3-2, Dan, you're in the game and you're nervous. But when you actually look back on the TV, what did they really create apart from our 2 mistakes in that game? And yesterday, I watched it back yesterday. Yeah, they had a half-decent chance with...
First half, Kulusevski.
Yeah, Kulusevski. But realistically, he was snuffed out. It was the only way he could get his shot off. And Solanke threw another Arsenal mistake, which was from Ben White. And, he dwelled on it a little bit. And, I think he was trying to be a little bit too precise. Maybe that's what the defence does for teams. But then I'm sitting there, when they put up 5 minutes for the field, I wasn't like, oh, God, panicking and all that. I just felt like, it looked comfortable. I felt like for the first, you always go to something, you think, oh, they're going to nick one in a minute or whatever. They never looked like scoring yesterday. And that's their problem,
mate. We couldn't score in a profit. We are hopeless.
Do you know what's mad, right? I looked at the stat. There's some stats that absolutely stunned me, right? I think it was you, judges, who said this to me, that Tottenham, in their last 14 games in this season now and previous to last season, have beaten 4 teams. The 4 teams they've beaten.
Yeah, name those teams, Dan. Name those teams.
If this is a true stat, I am stunned.
It is a true stat.
4 teams they've beaten are Everton this season, who everyone's beaten.
Luton, league,
who went down. Sheffield United, who went down, and Burnley, who went down.
Yeah. but
everyone else they've lost to or beaten.
We're a great
That's
side.
A real stat. Damn.
Arsenal, do you know what's even worse? Arsenal have kept 3 clean sheets in 4 games this season. We've kept 5 clean sheets in 37 games. 5.
Do you know what's funnier? The last 7 derbies, London derbies, that they care about, Arsenal, Chelsea, and West Ham, Postecoglou ain't won any of them. And
we got slapped by Fulham 3-0.
This is Postecoglou's wins as a Spurs manager. He's beaten United, which Flores will probably agree isn't hard. He's beaten Bournemouth twice. He's beaten Burnley. He's beaten Sheffield United. He's beaten Luton. He's beaten Fulham, Palace, Forest, Everton, Brentford, Brighton, and Villa. And he has beaten Liverpool by basically robbing them by VAR. That is it. That is all he's done. I mean, that is crazy. That is a poor record. I can't believe he's still here. And by the way, he has spent half of what Mikel Arteta has spent in 5 years.
More than half. He's done more than half. The only manager that spent more since he's been a manager in the Premier League is Enzo Maresca. And let's be honest, they're doing a different level of spending over there. There's no excuse now. We're in Europe this season. We got a game every 4 days. You watch Coventry. It's got 1-0 Haji Wright written all over it. And then we go against Brentford, a Brentford side that could have had 3 goals in the first 30 minutes against City.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for an Edison 75-yard pass, they'd have got a draw there. And what are Brentford going to do? They're going to sit back and they're going to have Wisa, Buemo on a counter attack. So my argument is, what does Ange do to counter, or what does he proactively do to counter people's counter? We don't exactly. If we dropped our defensive line, I mean, it's hiding troops, mate. We don't even have a defensive line anymore. We've got 2 centre backs. Our full backs, mate, it's madness. It is absolute madness, this system. Our wingers can't score goals. Our number 10 can't create. Our defenders can't defend. But all this energy when we had Mourinho and Conte, sack him. He's a dinosaur. What, just because Ange says, mate? Like what?
Honestly, bro.
Lee, you've seen
the honeymoon's open now, then, Henry. Would you say, like,
Writing's on the wall. He's got that Coventry game. If we come away with a defeat, which I think we will, he better not make that journey home.
Do you reckon? I don't think that's. Is that? I think realistically, if I'm a Spurs fan I'm going to target the Europa League. That's the one.
Do you think we're going to win that? Be honest.
Yeah, well, I don't know, but you've got a better chance of winning that because there's no one.
You've got
no Man City in it
than us, and you're not even in the comp, mate. Look, and everyone keeps comparing Arteta and Klopp. When you were absolutely dusted at 8th, you could see, right, that you wanted to get rid of the deadwood. He wanted his own players, and you could see a style of play. No one can blame Brian Hill, Ollie Skip, Harry Winks, Dyer, Royale. No one can blame me. Højbjerg. We could have done with Højbjerg yesterday. Because I tell you now, the minute Jorginho would have gotten the ball, straight in the back of him. Was there a derby challenge from Tottenham? The referee's giving out more cards than fucking Clinton's. It's an absolute disgrace. It's not good enough. Everyone's laughing at Chelsea. Look, they're spending £1 billion. They won at the weekend. They won. Man United won. And Arsenal won. Villa. We're the only mate, honestly. And our fixtures, we've got Man United away. I tell you now, we won't beat them. We've got a horrendous record there. We've won there 3 times in 30 years. We've got Villa, West Ham, and City coming up. Guardiola is going to have an absolute field day. But it's just who we are, mate.
I would worry if I was a Spurs fan. Real talk. I would actually worry. Let me bring the boys in, man. Let's see what they think. Let's come to you first, Flawless. What are you saying about Spurs? Are they Spursy still?
I would say they're Spursy still. The game surprised me because North London derbies normally they're high energy, the tempo's quick, and whether Spurs' quality is there or not, they lay siege to the goal. There was never no momentum in the game. There was never a point in the game where I thought Spurs were going to score before Arsenal scored the goal and after Arsenal scored the goal. You're expecting it, despite the lack of quality in the side, and that was the most surprising thing to me. I've never seen Spurs that poor in a North London derby ever, even ones they've lost previously, especially being at home as well. So that was the most shocking thing. Yes, their attack isn't the best, their attacking options, and I think everybody knew that. I think any Spurs fans knew that they needed to improve. Man mentioned Timo Werner. Why he got signed back, I have no idea. To sign him once alone is crazy, but to have him and then get him back again is terrible. Brennan Johnson were even Forest's best attacker. So why go and spend 50 million on him? And yeah, Solanke didn't have much service, but you still have to do more. You still have to at least give. It's just the effort. It's just the application thing. You have to give the defenders more of a tough time. Yes, Arsenal are very, very good defensively, but they'll face tougher games than teams that are worse than Spurs on paper. 110%. Yeah, they will. And like that's the unforgivable part. You'll forgive, like I always say, you'll forgive lack of skill, but you can't forgive lack of will. Yeah, Maddison none of their attackers were good. Maddison, Kulusevski, none of them. And obviously Arsenal were missing players as well. Rice, Moreno's injured, of course. Odegaard wasn't there.
Do you think it's the players or the system? Because
I think it's a mix of both, to be honest. I don't think the system
is Maddison really that bad?
I rate Maddison. I wanted him before you lot signed him.
He's got one goal.
I wanted him
this calendar year.
Yeah, but he's been, since he came back from that injury, the second half of last season and the start of this season, even though the start of the season's mixed, he's just not been at it. Like I was talking about Solanke. Yo, Maddison, you have the talent. You expect more. Get on the ball in the half pockets and try and make things happen. And yeah, he's going to collect the ball from deeper, like you mentioned, Henry, but you still have to attempt to do more. It was too easy. That's the worst thing about Arsenal. Were comfortable. Arsenal were even at their best.
The training
That's the
session.
worst part about it. Yeah, Arsenal were even at their best and thoroughly deserved the win. That would irk me. That would be the most irritating part if I'm a Spurs fan, is that they were comfortable and it was at your place. So pretty much my thoughts on it.
What are you saying, Dan?
I'm baffled by Ange. I didn't expect him to not change anything this season. I feel like, if anything, Tottenham have regressed this season rather than made forward sort of movements in terms of where they stand tactically. I think set pieces are a huge issue, and Arteta quite obviously noticed that and focused on that. There was a couple of moments where I thought they could have had a chance from corners, because Vicario was flapping at pretty much every ball that came near him, and I think that's a weakness that got found out last season and has never really been addressed. Like Henry said, Romero set pieces is definitely a bit of a weakness as well. I think on
Even
the
goalkeeper
ball,
as well.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's Vicario, isn't it? He's just flapping all the time.
Flapping like a tramp's trousers in the wind. He's honestly, mate. Let's be honest. He's. Would any of you take Vicario? Obviously, Arsenal. Mate. Would you take Vicario?
I wouldn't take him, mate. I think there's a weakness there that's definitely too big in the Premier League.
You're gold, son. You're gold.
This is class. Absolute class.